want to address the question of practicing law after I became a judge. Now, everyone knows that judges in Arkansas cannot practice law. And my response to the claim that I practice law is this: when the LTCM stands before the Almighty God on my judgment day, the truth will be then, as the truth is now, that LTCM did not practice law after I became a judge. Now, I became a judge January 1, 1997. I became a lawyer April 9, 1975. I was the first African American lawyer in Westtown, Arkansas. In '76, I'd been here about a year. I was hired by Mrs. Lozora Corbin out of Chicago to handle a land dispute matter, family dispute over who gets what off the land. Small amount of land, 40 acres of land, but there was a dispute about that. I was hired by her. And I'll never forget this. On January the 8th, 1990, now bear in mind, this is, what, 7 years before I became a judge? January 8th, 1990, I received a certified letter from Mrs. Corbin saying, quote, "You are discharged as my attorney. Send my file to Attorney Charles P. Allen, 422 Sebastian Street, Westtown, Arkansas," which I did. So I was fired. I stopped working on that case. I did not practice law. I was terminated, and I did what the person who terminated told me to do. Well, 8 years later, or 7 years later, I get elected to the bench. And I practiced law before I went to the bench, but certainly not after. On about 2003, I get a letter from a local lawyer. And I try not to call these lawyers names. I always say I'm not going to call their name. But when God called their name, it'll be all right. I don't call their names. I don't have animosity. I don't have hatred. I don't have revenge in my heart. I have a test to pass, and I intend to pass my test. It's just a test of faith. Make a long story short, in 2003, I received a letter from this lawyer inquiring about the Chandler estate. Well, listen, I've been on the bench now 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. I've been on the bench 7 years. And you write me and ask me about a file that I was fired on 15 years ago. So I began to try to find out where the file was, what's going on. I wrote the lawyers over here, because when I left here, I left 3 lawyers in this office. And I began to inquire, does anyone know anything about this case, anything about the file, whatever. Took forever to try to find the file. Make a long story short, that claim about practicing law results from that case.